It's 2024, 4 years into lockdown. The CO virus mutated, and nobody found a cure. The death toll hit 110 million, a 56% mortality rate. Every morning, people test their temperature on their phones. One slight fever and you're gone, dragged to a quarantine zone, a Q zone. Nobody ever comes back from those. The only people allowed outside are the immune. They wear a bracelet to prove it. Nico is one of them. He works as a delivery guy, one of the few jobs that still exists. He pulls up to a wealthy gated house, drops off a package in a sanitation box that sterilizes it before sending it inside. The client scolds him for being late and refuses to tip. Nico rides off, unbothered. He figures the man just hates him. His boss, Lester, tracks every employee by drone and GPS. He catches Nico shooting hoops on a rooftop mid-shift and calls him out immediately. Nico gets back to work. Meanwhile, Emma is home, as always. Her autoimmune disorder means her mother, Piper, won't let anyone near her. The family takes their daily phone temperature test. Emma's dad, William, is watching news coverage of a newly opened Q zone. Reports say the conditions inside are barbaric. He rushes to take his test when Emma yells at him, then Nico shows up with a delivery. Emma watches him through the screen, just grateful to see a different face. Nico leaves a generous tip waiting for him. He climbs to a rooftop and calls his girlfriend, Sarah. She watches the view with him, her grandmother Lita by her side, since neither of them can leave the apartment. Nico and Sarah have never actually met in person. All their dates are virtual. Lester notices Nico's gone idle again and sends a drone after him. Nico gives the camera the finger and keeps moving until he hits a military checkpoint. Soldiers raise their weapons. He shows his bracelet. They let him pass. That night, Nico finally finishes repairing his motorcycle. He revs the engine and grins. He's been saving to escape with Sarah to Big Sur, a part of California that's been virus-free for 6 months. All he needs is one illegal immunity bracelet for her. Across town, singer May is live streaming for her followers. One of her viewers, Dozer, a drone operator who works for Lester, sends her $100 and asks her to sing a song that got him through his military days. She performs it live. William watches. Sarah watches. Even Lita, though she'd rather have salsa. Then Nico shows up at Sarah's door with a special delivery. A handwritten poem and a box of pencils. Sarah is an artist. She tears up. They promise each other. One day, they'll kiss for real. Lester calls. Back to work. May and Dozer start talking after the stream. He opens up. He's been in lockdown since before the virus. Wheelchair-bound from the war. When he came home, people looked past him, so he stopped going out. 6 years without leaving his apartment. He shows May his drone. Tells her things are as bad out there as the news says. That night, a man who escaped a Q zone is found on the street. He swears he's clean. EMTT pulls out a knife and kills him. Nico sets up a projector in his yard for a virtual movie night with Sarah. Then Lita starts coughing. Within 2 seconds, the Department of Sanitation surrounds the building. Sarah ignores the agents pounding at her door. EMTT redirects them. He tells them they have the wrong apartment and watches as they break into her neighbors instead and drag her away screaming. Then EMTT rings Sarah's bell himself. He knows she's there. She has to answer. He asks if she's left the apartment. She says no. He leaves, for now. Sarah covers herself head to toe and brings Lita medicine. Lita begs her to stay away. Nico rushes to the building and sits outside Sarah's door all night. They talk through their screens about their favorite memories together. Morning comes. Sarah passes the temperature test. Lita doesn't. The app gives a countdown. Agents are on the way. Nico bolts. He calls Lester, asks for 2 immunity passes. Lester can't help, but drops a name, Piper and William. The packages Nico has been delivering this whole time? Illegal bracelets. Nico grabs his savings and races to the mansion. William plays dumb and hangs up. Piper scrambles. Someone in their network leaked. She calls Nico back, claims she's out of bracelets, and gives him an address. On his way there, Sarah checks on Lita one last time. Lita whispers her final words, full of love, and goes still. Nico reaches the abandoned building. EMTT is waiting. He asks for names to program the bracelets. Nico hesitates. EMTT extends his hand, a gesture of trust. The moment Nico takes it, EMTT stabs him. Nico headbutts him free. He checks the box. It's empty. Piper sent him into a trap. Guards open fire. Nico runs, bleeding, dodging bullets through a maze of machinery. He throws a can to create a distraction. It doesn't work. They find him anyway. Then Boomer appears out of nowhere. He knocks 2 guards cold, snatches their gun, and drags Nico out. He's been quietly rebelling against EMTT for months, tired of bodies showing up in his building. Together, they fight through 2 more guards before Nico escapes on his bike. Back at the mansion, William calls Lester, demanding Nico's location. Lester covers for Nico. William turns to Piper. Clearly, Lester is the leak. Nico patches himself up at home. Sarah calls. Lita is gone. He apologizes. Tells her to hide when the agents come. May and Dozer are still talking. She finally opens up. William is a former record executive. He promised to make her a star, flew her to a motel just before the pandemic hit, and she's been trapped there ever since. He's been using her. She gets a message from William wanting to see her tonight. She doesn't reply. He starts spamming her. Dozer tells her to stand up for herself. May calls William to end it. When he won't listen, she plays her card. She has recorded footage of him promising black market immunity passes. Back off, or it goes online. Piper is standing outside his office. She hears everything. She walks in holding his gun. She'd already taken it. She tells him she's always known about the affair. She doesn't care about a lover. She cares about their daughter, and he keeps putting her at risk. She kicks him out. Then she calls May and tells her to run. May calls Dozer. He tells her to come to him. Nico arrives at the mansion just as William is driving away. He slips through the open door. Lester spots his GPS and calls Piper to warn her. At the same time, the Department of Sanitation surrounds Sarah's building. She tries to call Nico. He can't answer. She photographs the sanitation truck and hides EMTT, and his agents break down her door. An agent comes into her bedroom. She knocks him out cold. She takes his hazmat suit, pulls on the mask, walks out among them, helps load Lita's body into a bag, and leaves the building without a second glance. Inside the mansion, Piper finds Nico and points a gun at him. He tells her the truth. He's not a threat. He's trying to save someone he loves. He just needs 1 bracelet. Piper believes him. She sits down and starts programming it. At the motel, May tries to leave, but her car won't start. William pulls up. He smashes her window and grabs her by the throat. Dozer's drone drops from above and shoots William dead. May stares at the drone as it flies away. A text arrives. "I'll always protect you." Sarah slips away from the sanitation crew, but she doesn't get far. EMTT pulls off her mask. He tells her she's been with Lita this whole time. If she were infected, she'd already be symptomatic. She's immune. Sarah demands her freedom. EMTT arrests her anyway. Nico bursts into the apartment. Only EMTT is there. He explains himself calmly. He used to drive garbage trucks. His supervisors all died. He took over. He believes being immune makes them gods, able to move through the city untouched, consequence-free. Then he lunges at Nico with his knife. Nico grabs Sarah's pencil and drives it into EMTT's neck. EMTT staggers, falls, bleeds out. Nico finds Sarah's phone, sees the photo of the truck, calls Lester, owes him one for the tip-off, so Lester can pay him back now. He gives him the truck's ID number. Lester passes it to Dozer. Within minutes, the drone finds the truck arriving at the nearest Q zone. Nico rides full throttle. He arrives just as Sarah is being dragged out. Guards raise their weapons. Sarah breaks free, runs toward him. He snaps the bracelet onto her wrist. Agents scan it. She's immune. They have no choice but to let her go. For the first time, no screens, no glass, no locked doors between them. Nico and Sarah hold hands, and they finally have their first kiss.